Hello, this is Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, from all of us here at RCAF USA to all of you out there, we wish you a very happy and prosperous new year. And during the last segment, we talked about the threats that are going to impact U.S. cattle producers as we move into this new 2019 year. And one of those major threats is the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef. And I explained that this consists of the world's largest corporations who want to reduce beef consumption for the purpose of reducing the cattle industry's footprint on the global environment. And they're doing this in two ways. Number one, they're developing lab-grown and plant-based protein alternatives to compete with and to lower the value of beef produced from U.S. cattle producers' cattle. Now, Tyson and Cargill, the first and third largest beef packers in the United States, are leading this global initiative to produce alternatives with which to compete directly with USA beef. The second way is their plan to dictate production practices so cattle producers will have to expend additional costs in order to have timely access to the marketplace that these multinational meat packers control. The extra cost will be to allow the packers to put a green sustainable label on beef without having to pay a cent to U.S. cattle producers for the extra value that they themselves will apply. And I explained that the GRSB, or the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef strategy, is to require radio frequency ID ear tags in every animal and to require producers to pay the cost of a third-party verifier to verify that their cattle were raised the way the multinational corporations want them to be raised. So the first phase is to require production practices that producers already recognize as beneficial to them. This is easy entry into this overall strategy. And a good example of this is the Beef Quality Assurance Program. And this is the first phase that's already being put in place because the multinationals are now beginning to require not just producers, but also cattle handlers, truckers, to be BQA certified in order to have timely access to the market. The later phases will include what and how much feed you will feed your cattle, including telling you where you must purchase the feed and perhaps providing a list of feed suppliers that they view to be meeting their own sustainability standards. And so this will go on until the additional production costs cause more and more producers to exit the industry until we have a reduced number of producers so that the meat packers believe they're at a level that is far more manageable than what they are today. So we know that we have a lawsuit filed against the U.S. Department of Agriculture alleging it's unconstitutional for producers' checkoff dollars to be used to fund the private speech of private entities without the producer's consent. And that lawsuit is now in the discovery phase. And so far, we've discovered that a large portion of checkoff dollars are being used to help the multinational corporations gain more and more control over the operations of U.S. cattle producers. Now, this Beef Checkoff program is supposed to fund marketing and promotion and research programs to increase beef consumption. Instead, much of the money is being deflected and being used to influence cattle production in the way that the meat packers want the production to be taken place. And for example, your checkoff dollars are being used to fund the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, and much of your checkoff dollars are being used at the state level to fund the Beef Quality Assurance Program. And recall, this is a program dealing with the production standards for cattle. It has nothing to do with the marketing of beef. And we also know that dollars are currently being spent to fund animal identification initiatives. Yes, those are checkoff dollars being spent for that purpose. And we see that funds are being used to fund the U.S. Farmers and Ranchers Alliance, which is another architect of the multinational sustainability efforts. And the question we have before us today is, how do we stop this? Well, the answer is you as individuals must join and financially support an organization that you believe best represents your interests, because only with your support and membership Will such an organization have the ability to reverse this train that has already, unfortunately, left the station? With that, we're out of time. We hope you have a productive week. Thank you and goodbye.